I think that the idea of a media exemption, first of all, this actually came up in some complaints that were filed back in 1999 before the registry that they're very well aware of. I'd like to refer you to that case. And in the hearing of that case, there was a Mr. Sanders with the Registry of Election Finance that was questioning the attorney that was representing the Courier-Journal. It was a Mrs. I believe Kimberly Green. And Mr. Sanders asked, is it a fair statement of constitutional law that the First Amendment rights of the largest publishing corporation are no greater than the First Amendment rights of the most ordinary citizen? Would you agree with that? And Ms. Green gave a rather lengthy answer without answering the question. So Mr. Sanders came back and asked the question again. That's all very interesting, but the question, it really doesn't directly address the question, which is very simple, I think. And that is, are the First Amendment rights of the largest publishing corporation any greater or any less than the First Amendment rights of the most ordinary citizen? Or are they, as I suspect, the same? And Ms. Green's answer was, I think they are the same. What this does by establishing in law, in Kentucky law, now I've not been proven wrong on this yet, but I don't believe that the media, what's commonly referred to as the media exemption, is in current language in Kentucky statute. No. It does exist in federal election law, but it does not, I believe, exist in Kentucky statute. This is new language, and this has been attempted since 2000 was the first time it was attempted. And so, we're not up here to argue for any kind of a restriction on the media or for the media start reporting. What we're saying is that under our Bill of Rights of the Kentucky Constitution, we're no different than we're equal. And I think this is Alan Brown. I'd like for you to just read Section 8. I think it's very important.
If you can do that, we're going to allow you a couple of minutes because we do have to move. We spent most of the time on this one piece of legislation. I apologize for the oversight and not recognize it, but we do have to move on. We have other bills to consider. Yes, sir. Okay, I'm Alan Brown from a citizen of Nelson County. I've read the Constitution on this matter, and I'm very concerned about it. I'm going to complete what he started. It says, Section 8, printing presses shall be free to every person who undertakes to examine the proceedings of the General Assembly or any branch of government, and no law shall ever be made to restrain the right thereof. Every person may freely and fully speak, write, and print on any subject, being responsible for the abuse of that liberty. Ladies and gentlemen of the committee, I urge you strongly to reconsider this because I'm very new to the political process and everything, but as I read the Constitution, that is fairly easy for me to understand what they're getting at, and I'm very concerned about this bill. Thank you. Thank you. Representative Harmon had a question, I believe.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just two items. On the page 3 that you're referring to, endorsement, of course, I ran through it very quickly, so I may have overlooked. I'm not certain, but I believe that endorsement actually refers more to a giving guarantee of a loan, so it's really dealing more of a financial as it is opposed to just specifically, saying that you support this individual. The other item, and I would have to defer to Representative Fisher. I'm not positive, but I think once Representative Fisher makes his amendment regarding the media to be referred to as a person, I think it will alleviate, perhaps not all, but the majority of your concerns that we've discussed.
It's on. I can assume it's on record that it won't mean that if Kentuckians for the Right to Bear Arms were to endorse Senator Thayer over his opponent, that we're not going to have to file because of that?
No, I think that would be, is that correct? I think that would be an incorrect assumption.
So the Political Issues Committee is only representing ballot questions.
Oh, ballot questions, okay.
Endorsement of Senator Thayer
right.
is permissible under current law and under this bill.
So if we then endorse a constitutional amendment, then we're going to have to file. Am I correct?
Senator Thayer?
Correct.
if you spend over $1,000.
Okay.
And
Any
there's
other
another
questions?
problem, Mr. Chairman, with the idea of coordination. If Senator Thayer is running for office, and I, as just a private citizen or a member of an issues committee or what have you, interview him, I might tag along with him on his campaign as he's. I could very easily be accused of coordinating with that candidate when I do then issue my thoughts and opinions and so forth. That would never happen with any newspaper, certainly in this state, but it could and very well would happen with individuals and groups of individuals. So this whole distinction of trying to make a distinction where there is no distinction, there's nothing that until this is put into the Kentucky statute that says the media is any different than an average individual. I'm concerned on if you move forward, and I appreciate Representative Marzion you offering to take another look at this in this committee today, because I'm concerned. When I heard the answer about adding an amendment to define the media, I didn't hear that was going to be accepted. All I heard was that it was going to be given serious consideration. That's not strong enough, and I want you to think very carefully about this.
This is the last question. I am going to move on.
But it's not a question. It's going to be a comment.
Okay.
I'm just curious that you fellas seem to be very sincere about your concerns on this, but as a committee member, I haven't heard one word about your concerns. And, I mean, this bill is Senator Thayer, and I have some concerns about, I'm not saying I'm 100% in agreement with the bill, but the committee, we've heard it, but why haven't you voiced this through some means of email, letter, phone calls? Because I have not heard one word from you guys.
I sent an email to the committee members. I did call the 1-800-372-7181 number and asked that it be voted down. I don't know where they went. I don't have a clue. I called that number so many times I know the thing by heart.
I also left messages, and I know various friends and family members did as well.